Well, I was telling Chris, and the pulling around to the side, okay, that's a Dobie characteristic genetically back as far as you can go, because if they're getting away from this guy being able to grab a hold of him and so on. The pulling down, that's a Roddy characteristic. He's been around too many Rottweilers.
Yeah, that must be it.
It's a mix.
He's a mix.
That's something
In the back.
I mean, that's something you don't see a whole lot with Dobies. The pulling to the side, yes, but this, I'm going to yank you right over on your face. You don't see that a whole lot. That was really interesting. And man, is that hard on an old man? I didn't envy you out there. It was interesting watching coming in for the long bite, because there is a, I don't know whether to call it a hesitation or it's like, okay, he sets up pretty strongly. Yeah, I mean, he comes in like a rocket, but then right there, yeah, it's like, okay. And of course, once he's on it, it's just like this. But the blind source was excellent. The hold and bark was excellent. Came out. The constant barking costs you points. Rules are fairly clear about that. You know, without constantly barking. Dobies are naturally verbal. They just simply are. But all the bites were full. All the bites were hard. And I mean, he fought. This is you love to see this in a working dog. Is he fought, but he was clean on his outs. The only problems he had was on the control work when you would come up on the escorts. That was, you know, basically it. The only reason, and I'm sorry if I confused you two, is that you were getting too far out in front of her. It says, you know, roughly 5 paces behind the helper. So if it's, the idea is it's called a surprise attack, which means that you should be close enough to the helper that it is a surprise to the dog. If you're, you know, 20 feet behind, there's no surprise. Jackie Reinhardt got cost points for that in 1987 over in the back in the the DHV championship, and I was there because she couldn't walk as, I mean, you know, Jackie's always been old as the hills. I don't know. She couldn't walk as fast as the helper was walking on, so this dog still V-rated in protection, but that was where she lost her points. You had some extra commands on that, trying to keep him under control. The attack out of the back transport, again, you had extra commands for the escort to the judge. The out, he outs nice and cleanly. The long bite, again, good outs. The only problem comes is when you get up there and start, you know, trying to get the control and get the escort. But 93 points pronounced.
Yes! Yes!
254 is what I got. The tracking cost you, Eddie.